Welcome, everybody, to another live stream from Carolina Game Summit. We have a big event coming up on August 6th, 7th, and 8th, and I want to invite everybody to visit cgsummit.com to get information about that event. We posted some of our cosplay guests. Just click on cosplay. It's a text link on the website. We posted a bunch of our exhibitors. If you're following us on social media, then you've been checking out those exhibitor announcements, cosplay guest announcements. And today we have a speaker announcement. It's Joe Wright, software maintenance engineer at Red Hat. Joe, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Mike?
Doing fantastic. It's Friday. We've got 2 weeks to the show, so everything is coming together, and I'm excited. I can't wait to have everybody out to the Raleigh Convention Center to meet you and learn more about gaming on Linux. Tell us a little bit about your talk.
So what I'm basically introducing is kind of going back to the roots of gaming. Way back when, for us older folks in the PC gaming world, it didn't really matter if you had a Windows machine or a Linux machine. Stuff like Quake and Unreal just worked. So now we've sort of gone into a weird paradigm where everything is being developed for and played on Linux. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate and prove that the operating system still does not matter. If you build the game for an OS, it'll run on the OS.
That's a really good lesson for the game developers that hopefully will be in attendance. We're going to have a lot of indie game developers, and I hope that even the AAA title developers that are going to be on site will hear that message and understand the value of natively coding games for Linux. But the good news is, until every game comes out natively for Linux, we have some options, right? What are our options right now for playing games on Linux?
So there's a sort of an abstraction layer, or not really an abstraction layer, but a translation layer between Linux and Windows called Wine. And there's also a graphics acceleration layer called Vulkan. And those two combined allow you to basically, as long as there's not some sort of weird hardware acceleration label error or anti-cheat software that's looking for weird triggers that the games being run in this way might set off, the game will run on Linux. It's a matter of just getting it adapted and a couple of scripts to set up the environment right. And there's quite literally thousands of games, including AAA titles, that work just fine on numerous distros of Linux.
That's fantastic. I'm excited for the prospects of gaming on Linux, and I really hope in the very near future we'll have a dedicated section or maybe an entire tournament that's on a brand new AAA title natively running on Linux. Until then, people have great options, as you've just said, through emulation, through Wine, through the Steam OS. There's a lot of stuff running Linux already that maybe people don't know about, and if they go to your session, they'll be to check that out live. You're going to have a pretty nice gaming rig set up in your session to show these games off, right?
Yeah, the machine I'm going to have, it's not going to be like bleeding edge hardware or anything, because I am just as subject to the wonderful issues around acquiring GPUs as anybody else. So it's going to be a little bit more middle ground, a little bit older hardware. But when we built these machines, this was a lot of fairly cutting edge equipment. And like I'm basically going to be demonstrating a number of games as long as I've got internet for some of the stuff that's internet enabled, and then there's offline stuff. But if I've got it on the hard drive, I can demonstrate it there live.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because it is tough to get video cards. I just went and picked up 15 myself. It's going to go in inventory and for sale at the Carolina Game Summit. So if anybody out there is having a hard time finding a video card, go ahead and get your ticket, stop out. We're literally going to have hundreds of 3000 series cards available for you guys to pick up at the event. And these cards will not be scalper rate. We're looking at MSRP or very close to it. Back to Joe. You are actually on the Overwatch team at Red Hat. Your employer called the Rumblers. Can you tell us a little bit about why Red Hat has an Overwatch team and what you guys do?
So we play in the corporate esports association, also known as CEA. It's basically a charity league where various tech companies and other companies will put together teams for various games. It's not just Overwatch. We've got a Call of Duty team, a Counter-Strike Go team, Valorant. I think there's even a Rocket League team, even a chess team. So it's all encompassing. It just depends on which season, and all of the money that we earn from these all goes to a charity of the company's choosing. I'm not sure what the fall season charity is going to be yet, but that will be made available when the selection's there and we choose one.
That is amazing. I'm really excited about that corporate esports league. I'm going to look at entering some of my own employees into that. That sounds like a really fun thing for a company to do for their employees, and hopefully people will pick up on that at this event. I'm going to go back just a little bit and talk about some of the older games. What are some of your older games that you're a big fan of, and then what is some of the newer stuff that you're playing? Obviously, besides Overwatch.
For newer stuff, I've basically kind of moved from WoW to Final Fantasy 14. Like, who knows how many people at this point? So it's not necessarily a new game. It's more of just a new shift. As far as super new stuff, obviously I'm playing COD Black Ops, and
Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone.
Fantastic. That's real similar to
yeah.
my background. What were the older titles?
Getting started in the PC world, it was on Unreal, like original Unreal, and then Unreal Tournament and Quake Arena. Moving onwards to really just sticking with the esports type shooters. So everything from original Unreal Tournament all the way up to the current, is it still technically alpha for Unreal Tournament? I'm not sure. So I play a little bit of that still. I play CSGO a little bit off and on, and I still play TF2.
That's a fantastic list of old first-person shooters, and so I'm excited that a lot of those, especially like Quake, have Linux native builds that you can run on pretty much any. Some people say you need one flavor of Linux, one distro, but like as you've told me in the past, pretty much any fork will work, right?
As long as it's not pretty much any fork. It's more of the forks that stay more on the cutting edge. So newer distros of Ubuntu, Arch. There's even a couple of distros specifically built around gaming, like Steam has one called Steam OS. You also have another distro called Pop OS, and there's also a Fedora GameSpin. But as far as stuff like RHEL and SUSE, no. That's geared to servers. It's not geared for a high-end workstation.
Well, Joe, I'm excited. I think we could talk for another hour just on our shared PC gaming experience. It seems like we've had a lot of similarities there. But I want to encourage and save a little bit of this for 4 p.m. Saturday, August 7th in room 402 at this year's live Carolina Games Summit 2021. We will also be streaming Joe Wright's talk completely free on our Twitch, YouTube, various other channels. It'll be real similar to this, so feel free to tune in. But Joe, thank you for giving us time today. I really, really appreciate it, and I cannot wait to see you guys in person and see all that Red Hat has to offer.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, so for all those who have not got a ticket yet, please visit cgsummit.com, get that ticket, click on hotels, and you can go ahead and book until Monday at midnight at the discounted conference rate of $139 per night at the Sheraton Raleigh Hotel. Also, we have an incredible lineup of speakers that we'll be posting over the weekend and throughout next week. So I encourage you to keep an eye on that website, keep an eye on all the socials, Facebook, Twitter. We've got information just flowing out of the event because everybody is locking in. It has been a very interesting time this year planning this event, but I really appreciate you guys tuning in, taking time to look at what we're doing and considering attending. So I hope to see you all there.
When it comes to gaming, we've got it locked and loaded as we celebrate 15 years of the Carolina Games Summit, partnered with the XP League. Join us at the Raleigh Convention Center from Friday, August 6th through Sunday, August 8th. Explore over 50,000 square feet filled with exhibitors, local artists, and video games from every era. Show your skills by entering over 30 different esports tournaments. Cheer on your favorite teams as they go head-to-head in the XP League North American Finals live, and show off your creative wild side with a chance to take home the gold in the biggest CGS cosplay competition yet. Join us as we celebrate 15 years of the Carolina Games Summit, partnered with the XP League, Friday, August 6th through Sunday, August 8th at the Raleigh Convention Center. Registration is open now. Purchase your tickets at CarolinaGamesSummit.com.